This is not rocket science, so it's pretty easy to put this all back on. I've turned the power back off. And what I do is with these mounting screws, I take these out, and there's a little cardboard piece on the back that sometimes you have to unscrew, or you can pull it fast. Okay, I'm taking those out because once I get these wire nuts in there, I want to push this straight in there without these screws being in my way, to make sure I've got enough clearance for everything and I don't have these screws in my way to allow for that when I put these wire nuts in, because you know I'm going to have to position these wire nuts in there, and I should be able to do it, and it's just about the process of elimination. Look and see where the first one's going to go and how you're going to fish it down. I see some loops in there of the other wires, and I can push some of the wire nuts straight through that loop. And you know what I'm going to do? Do something slightly different on this one. I'm going to put electrical tape on the wire nuts and on the wire. Okay? I didn't do that on the other video. I thought I would do it on this one. Okay? And I just want to be kind of careful with not letting this drag back and forth too much like this on the wall. Because if you have flat paint on your wall, you'll have a mark there and you think, son of a gun. You try to wipe it off, and maybe you wipe the paint or you start cleaning it off and you don't get it, and now you've got a mark on your flat paint. But in this case, I've got eggshell finish on here, so if I were to get a slight mark, I should be able to wipe it off. Just makes it a little tricky with these wires in my way. This will assure that your wire nuts will never come off. Let's say some electricians do this to any time they install something with a wire nut. Can you believe that? I don't do it very often. I mean, would I have really done this? Nah, probably not. But I'm just, like I say, I'm doing it because I didn't do it last one, and I'm just showing you what you could do if you wanted. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of get those out of my way and hope that I keep this from rubbing too much on the wall. Dabbity nabbit. I can hold it up here like this. Make sure your power's off, right? Okay, I think I've done it. And you can take some wire cutters if you want. You don't have to stretch it and try to break it off that way. Just take your wire cutters. You know, simple enough, yes. Okay, look at this, see, make sure you're facing up. Now I can slide those wires back out. Because I don't have as much wire in here, I can fold it a couple different times and see how I'm going to get this stuff in here. Good grief. And hopefully I can do it in such a way. See, I'm not liking how I'm folding that one. I think I'm going to have to fold it to double and then up. There we go. And then back. Okay. And now you can kind of look at them and kind of make a determination how you think you should reroute those wires. See, I'm pushing that out of the way to keep this black kind of over this way, so when I push this in, I've got it kind of set up. And you just, that one, I'm going to see if I can't get rid of that wire nut inside the hole. Good grief. That's the ground, and because I can grab it with my pliers and kind of bend on it and kind of get it in there. I don't like to normally do that with wires, but I can with the ground wire. Okay, now I can kind of see. I mean, the box is packed because I got all kinds of other wires in there. And I got 3 extra wire nuts. That's why I keep these screws out of my way. So now I can hold that up there and push it up against there, making sure I'm tight. If I'm out a little bit, I don't want to think, oh, just put the screw in, the screw will push the wire nut in there. No. Lots of times it's not going to do that. You're going to strip your screw out of the plastic box, or the screw's going to hold, and you're going to bend the top flap of your light switch. Let's say, and then it's not going to fit in there properly. This may be tight to the wall, but this might be puckered out in the middle, and then your cover plate doesn't fit on there very well. Okay, you see I've got it now. You see the effort that it took for me to get it in there? Now do you see why I cut those wires just a hair shorter? I mean, I might have still been able to fit it in. Mind you, I didn't take that much wire off, but it might have prevented it just enough to fit in the box properly and not have to fold another way or have the wire in the way of something else, you know? Okay? And that's why I like to screw these in by hand, and my pet peeve is make sure these come straight out and I can wiggle it back and forth and see that it's going to go in nice and snug and straight. So when I put the cover plate on, it fits nice and straight. And all these mounting holes, where I'm putting that, you can slide this to the right or to the left in case your mounting box isn't perfectly plumb. Then you can line this up, and I kind of stand back and look at it and see, okay, this needs to be slid to the left. So loosen it up, slide it to the left. If that's already pushed all the way over to the left, then maybe if it still needs to go, maybe it's the bottom needs to go over to the right. You see? And so I'm kind of looking at the box too and stuff. And I try to eyeball it the best I can, and I'll know once I put the cover plate on. When I put the cover plate on, I can look at it after I screw it down, stand back, and then make a determination. Is it perfectly straight up and down? Or if not, you know, spend a couple extra minutes. Undo it. Okay, it needs to go over at the top right, just barely. Now take your screw, loosen it, slide it over, tighten it back up, and make sure you line it up properly, that it's coming out straight, that it's not cocked at an angle, and that your cover plate is nice and straight. Okay? So I'll finish that up and we'll be done in a minute. And that's funny too. This torpedo, I call this a torpedo one, the round one here. Initially, this one here, I put duct tape on the end, can you tell? I put 2 layers, boom, boom, and then boom, boom. So that this light wouldn't shine in people's eyes coming up the stairs and also going down the stairs. See? Right there. And I put those prior to installing the 3-way switch because I wasn't quite sure if a 3-way switch would dim LEDs. And did you know most 3-way switches now, they'll dim just about anything. I was looking on the box, and I think it was LEDs, incandescent, CFLs, and It might have even been something else too. I'm not quite sure. I think I threw it away. Oh, where is it? Oh, good grief. Maybe I can't find it. I just got some stuff for the cat. Let's just see. Let's see. There it is. Controls dimmable LED, CFL, and incandescent and halogen bulbs. As long as any of those bulbs are dimmable. And did you know some bulbs are not dimmable? I put in some LEDs once upon a time, and the particular LED bulbs that I put in were not dimmable in a kitchen for my auntie. I was reading the thing and the dimmer switch wasn't working properly. This was quite a few years ago. And it said you have to have dimmable, or you have to have a dimmable light switch that was dimmable for LEDs. I think that's what it was too. So her switch just wouldn't work. And we had to get a different switch in there. And nowadays, I think they make it so that it will dim anything, like I was just reading, and maybe all bulbs now are dimmable for any dimmer light switch. I'm not sure about that, but when you get light bulbs at the store, make sure they're dimmable, because you never know when you're gonna need them. You know what, on that one there, I'm just gonna leave it on. I'm gonna leave it on there, and at that end, I'm gonna leave that one on that end too. Because every once in a while, if you don't have them dimmed, you want to go down the stairs, this one could be shining in your eyes when you turn it on, or vice versa. So because that one's going down the stairs, I'm going to leave the duct tape on there, even though I've got a dimmer switch on there. And that's about the only time you're probably going to need duct tape. You shouldn't need them for up here or anything. Okay, or even on these side ones. If when you turn this on all the way, and if that end right there really bothers you, and if you know you're going to have it up all the way more so than down, you could put duct tape on there. I would take that out, put the duct tape, use some carpet scissors or something afterwards, and trim it off. And you might have to put 2 layers of duct tape on there and then trim it off. Nobody's ever really going to even notice it except you, because the trim on it is the same color as the duct tape. Okay, that's not duct tape. You almost think it is, huh? You could put it on what I would do on this one, you could put it on that end if it really bothers you. But like I say, most of the time I'm going to be the one turning this, or mommy, and most of the time I'm not going to have it up all the way looking straight at it. Okay, you got it up all the way and that bothers you, put some duct tape on it. Be done with it. Here's my old switch, but hey, it still works, right? So don't throw it away. Save it for next time. There's always going to be a next time. You know what I mean? I told you I had a bag of goodies. I got extra wire in there, 12 gauge, 14 gauge, extra pigtail wires, wire nuts, crimpers, extra light switches, single pull light switches, 3-way light switches, all that kind of stuff. Okay, all right, I got the power back on. I'm just going to test it one more time, and everything's working fine. Okay, and the only other thing you do when you're done is don't forget to clean up. Okay, so I'm going to do that next before I get in trouble. That's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos, and I really couldn't tell you what I'm going to do next, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. And you know what? I think I know exactly what I'm going to do. There's a smoke alarm here, and I've got to replace it. Even though this smoke alarm is a 10-year smoke alarm, it works fine, and it's only about 5 years old. It's got about another 5 years worth of life, but I have to replace it. And I'll tell you why next time.